Okay, just working out a little bit of tech issues. I want to record this video on my laptop. That's all I can do. Hey, YouTube, how are y'all doing? Coach Tracy here. Um, Coming at you live from the Philippines. Some very specific news about liver disease. Okay, my specialty is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and alcoholic fatty liver disease, type 2 diabetes, cholesterol, gastrointestinal issues, gallbladder issues, kidney stones. Okay, I've beat all of it. Um, I don't have any high tech, um, fancy, schmancy stuff right now to be able to show charts and all this other stuff. I have all that left in the States. So right now we've recently been transitioned over here and I don't even have my own home yet. So I have to work, we got to work with what we can work with, correct? Um, so let's get started. For everyone who's trying to figure out about the fatty liver disease, there's really kind of two kinds. You're either in NASH or you're in just regular fatty liver. Now, the difference between that is the inflammation of the liver, especially when enough fat gets accumulated in there on the liver, then eventually it can become inflamed. And not everybody's going to deal with that. It's this is kind of like a very individualized disease. And it's very, very conducive with everything that you're doing during the day and in lifestyle. So let me explain that. That means everything that you eat, everything that you drink, everything that you're, whether you sleep good, whether you're stressed out, that all plays a part in the health of your liver. And not to mention your mind, right? Uh, but very important, very, very, very important. The liver itself is one of the most resilient organs in our body. Okay. It has the ability to be able to rejuvenate itself. So, meaning there's 4 stages to fatty liver disease, whether it's alcoholic or non alcoholic, it's the same 4 stages. You have stage 1, you have stage 2, you have stage 3, and you have stage 4. Now, off the top of my head, each one has a name, but right now I'm 54. Senility's got a hold of me right now. But once it reaches stage 4, fibrosis, it's just too damaged to be able to correct itself. And what I mean by that, I'm gonna dive deep into that right now. And I wish I had some flow charts for you and some fancy stuff to help you understand, but I just don't. So if you can just follow me along and hear my words. The liver has 2 cycles a year. Okay. And what I mean by that, 2 cycles a year, meaning the liver will birth new cells inside of it, inside. Okay. And they come and they go to maturation within about 3 months. And then it's going to fall off. It's a total cycle of 6 months. Okay. So when you have damaged fat on your liver and your cells are coming up, they're born healthy. But because the liver is compromised, the cells become compromised. Okay. Thus creating the toxic cycle. So the key component to fighting fatty liver disease, whether it's alcohol or non-alcoholic, is to get those cells that are being born and keep them healthy. So that way they can't be damaged once it hits the damaged area, whether it's fat on the liver, whether it's inflammation, it doesn't matter. I'm calling it a compromised area. Okay. And so what you want to do is you want those cells to not become compromised. Now, how to do that? That's the trick. Now, most doctors and most fancy people with big degrees and stuff like that, they have much better videos than I do. And I don't. I'm coming to you from raw life experience, and I have no fancy schmancy gadgets. And you can actually hear the yapping dog across the street on my video. So I apologize about that. Yeah, it's a manic thing. But how do we do that? How you do that is through your diet and exactly what you do every day. What are you eating? morning, afternoon, and for dinner. What are you drinking? What kinds of stuff are you drinking? Are you drinking sugary juices? Are you drinking? I mean, there it plays all into it. Now, the best thing that you can do to get those cells healthy is to increase your leafy vegetables, okay? Fresh, and I'm talking from the farmer's market, fresh. Because once you take a vegetable, whether it be like a spinach, broccoli, okay, you get it, cauliflower, everything. You cut it from the stem, from the roots, okay? You're following me? You cut it from the roots. Once it's cut from the roots, you only have about a 3 to 5 day max window of getting the 100% nutrients required for our bodies. By the time it hits your local supermarket, it's already a week and a half to 2 weeks into being cut from the roots, if not longer. You're really not getting nutritional value from that stuff. A lot of people misconcept frozen vegetables as being healthy. They're not. Whenever you freeze something, whether it's flash frozen or whatever, you're changing the compounds within that vegetable. So if you're taking carrot and you're freezing it and you're leaving it in your freezer, or let's just say mixed vegetables like corn, peas, and carrots, like a medley, and it's in the freezer, not only over time will it accumulate ice in there, like ice crystals from being frozen, okay, and it can risk the chance of getting freezer burnt. You're already lost 3/4 of the nutritional value out of that. And gosh, if you're on canned foods, that is the one thing I'm going to have to tell you, you got to quit, because canned foods are packed full of preservatives for shelf life. They are designed to sit on the shelf for a long time in an aluminum can. Now, what happens is over time, the aluminum, the metal itself, creates a reaction within the preservatives that are in that. Say canned green beans, okay, or canned carrots. It's no different. No nutritional value. Now, they'll tell you differently because they want you to buy it, right? Of course. But it's up to us to navigate through all of that. And I'm telling you how to do it now. Now, the quickest way also, because I'm going to give you guys an example, because my client already went from wheelchair to walking up a flight of steps. She has basically a shunt rerouting her portal veins inside her liver. Okay, that's how bad her liver was. And we're getting her slowly turned around, which I'm super happy. And no masses, no nothing. She's staying close to the doctor and getting monitored. Not with anything. She's following my direction, but she's also getting her blood work done there, because I don't do blood work. I'm in the Philippines, right? So there you go. But you understand what I mean. Very simple. She got my cookbook. She's been cooking my recipes, which each recipe is specifically designed with the ingredients that I put together. It's in the ingredients that you put together. Okay. So there's a little bit of soy sauce, vinegars, fresh garlics, that type of thing. And she's been diligent on that. And she's followed my instruction as far as an anti-inflammatory tea. So best way to get rid of inflammation in your liver is to come in with anti-inflammatory foods or drinks. Now, one of the cleanest things I have learned over time, because I just went through this major sinus infection, the weather's really bad here, like 90% humidity, and the heat is just unbearable. It's like breathing a sauna, and it's up and down. Like right now we're in a rainstorm. So it's just island life, but this year the weather's been crazy all over the world from what I understand. So it's fresh ginger root. Okay, guys, you take the whole ginger root, you slice it up, leave the skin on. You're going to boil that for about 15 to 20 minutes. You're going to take fresh lemon because we all know the anti-cancer properties in lemon, correct? And it's also a good cleansing. So, and you get your vitamins from it too. Slice 2 to 3, and it's really your taste. So if you like a lot of lemon, put your lemon. Don't be afraid of that. Okay. But you're going to put that in the last 5 minutes that you're going to cook that ginger root. Okay. Now, I don't know about in the States if you can get a hold of fresh Asian or fresh Philippine oregano. It's the actual green plant leaf. You're going to pick 4 to 5 of those off and you're going to boil it with your ginger root. Literally, you just drop them in there and boil it. I add 1 tablespoon of honey afterwards. When I have poured it into my cup, I add 1 tablespoon of honey just for a little bit of sweetener. Some people like it. Sometimes I like the sweetness, and sometimes I don't. This past time I didn't because I was trying to cure my sinus infection. And sure enough, guys, I didn't get an infection. I'm sitting here, I still have a little bit of cloudiness in my ears, and I'm still dealing with some sinus and some coughing. Excuse me, and some scratchy throat. But I've got no infection and I didn't have to go running to the doctor for antibiotic. And that's the key here, right, guys? We don't want to have to go run to the doctor for any kind of antibiotic, because if you get on antibiotic and you have a compromised liver, chances are that medication that you're taking, the side effects are going to affect your liver as well. Because the one thing doctors have and don't realize is that they're pushing these supplements and they're pushing these medications. You can't do that when you have a compromised liver. They say they're healthy, but in fact, it's retro healthy to you. It's a conflict of interest with our health. In other words, okay, couldn't find the word there. In other words, the other ingredients that are inside the medication or the supplement, that is going to hurt your liver and thus creating a toxic cycle. At the same token, they're telling you that this is good, right? So, like I said, again, we have to navigate through all of that, right? So, I have a private community, and I've been working diligently with Lise, and there's been several others, and they're getting great reviews. They're feeling better. There's no pain in the liver. The inflammation has gone down. And this is the quickest way. And it's been done in a month and a half to 2 months, guys. That's how quick it can be done. And I will argue anybody who wants to argue this with me, because I know what I'm talking about. I'm 54 years old. I am a certified professional life coach, but I have been passionate about holistic health since I've cured myself and since I lost my father to alcoholics fatty liver disease, and it was stage 4. And there was absolutely nothing that could be done. We just had to watch him transition. And it was one of the hardest things I had to do, but I made him a promise. And this is me keeping that promise, not only to myself, but to him. And it also makes me feel really, really wonderful to be able to give this type of information to everybody, because I know it benefits you so much. And I know that you reap the rewards from that. So the cells, going back to the cells, right? That is what's going to keep those cells ironclad from becoming damaged from the compromised area in the liver. Yeah? Okay, so once we can keep them healthy and they go through the liver, even through the damaged area, they can't be damaged, right? Because they're ironclad, right? So what happens over time? It starts taking the compromised liver and it starts turning it around, because it can't damage those cells. Do you see what I'm saying? So that is the key. That is the key. And it is easier said. I'm telling you, a lot of this is just really a walk in the ballpark in getting this cured. Several ways of doing it. The fresh ginger root tea, I'm telling you all about. Besides that, it's super yummy. The apple cider vinegar, the Bragg's. Now, a lot of people find it easier to cook with it. It doesn't matter. Lise sometimes enjoys putting it in when she's boiled the ginger root. It's not about how you take it, really. It's about taking it, period. That's what's important, because your body's going to identify with it whether or not it's hot or cold. You see what I mean? The properties are the same. The beauty about Bragg's, the mother apple cider vinegar, is that it is made from fermented apples. There is hairline enzymes at the bottom of the bottle that you shake up, and it's going to become cloudy. That is what changes literally our gut health, and that is what changes everything inside of us, especially for our organs. So the key takeaway here that I wanted to let everybody know was that the liver has 2 cycles a year only, meaning it births new cells, and the new cells die off, and then it'll birth new cells again twice a year, every 6-month interval. Okay. And that's why it's a little bit of a time thing in reversing it, because the more you can target keeping those cells healthy that's inside your liver, that's going to determine right there how fast it's going to turn that compromised area on the liver, whether it be a little bit of fat, whether it be a lot of fat, whether it be saturated with fat. It's going to determine how fast it's going to change that around. You're going to feel relief immediately if you have NASH, which is the inflammation. And a lot of people don't understand why oh, my liver hurts. It's not really the liver that hurts. It's our bodies are only so big, and the area that our liver sits in, okay, it's only so much. It's not like our bones expand when the liver expands. So inflammation means that the liver enlarges. When you have an enlarged liver due to inflammation, it's pushing on everything else around it, possibly your ribs, possibly everything else. And that's what's causing you pain. And that's what you have to get control of, is the inflammation. Once you can get control of that inflammation and have that go away, your pain goes away. And then you stay focused on that regimen, because that's going to ironclad those liver cells and keep them healthy through its cycle, thus turning the fatty liver disease around. Now, I've cured stage 3 with scarring in 10 months, but it was intense. And it was a very, very strict regimen on diet. No exercise really, walking, but nothing out of the ordinary. Like, I got to go to the gym, I got to lift weights, I got to do that. No, guys, I'm not that kind of a person. I focus mostly on being healthy on the inside. And I feel like when you're healthy on the inside, you're going to be healthy on the outside. And I mean, we all can tone up in areas, right? But the beauty of apple cider vinegar too, Bragg's, is that I actually lost myself 100 pounds. My type 2 diabetes guy that I cured in about a month and a half from 11.3 A1C numbers, he literally dropped like 60 pounds, 55 pounds, doing the Bragg's apple cider vinegar. And it's absolutely wonderful for hair and skin. So you're getting benefits all the way around the board. Anti-inflammatory, it's great for skin, it's great for gastrointestinal issues, digestive issues. I mean, it's like this miracle in a jar. It's been around since Hippocrates, the father of medicine. So, I mean, some of the old school stuff it really does still work. But that's what I really wanted to come on and talk with everybody about. So this isn't going to be too long. I hope you stay with the video, because it is a lot of good information. Poke around under my bio informational. There's a lot of links down there with additional information and content that you actually might find interesting. So yeah, that's all I had today, but I'll bringing more valuable information in the next coming videos or so. So that's where you want to focus. And if you feel like you want to reach out, let's talk. For free, of course. I'm here and I'm super passionate about it. So, uh, and I got a lot of free resources and stuff like that also. So on that note, I'll let you guys go. Happy YouTubing, and I hope you get a lot out of this video. Stay strong, stay blessed.